In the next 3 minutes, we're going to teach you how to swap your old dead golf cart batteries for a fresh set of Trojan golf cart batteries. The tools you'll need today include a 9/16 socket, a socket wrench, an extended drive, and a 1/2-inch socket as well. Our shop cart today is a 2002 Club Cart DS 48 volt. Step one, you're going to want to remove your seat from the hinges. It's pretty easy, but gives you a lot of room to work. And then you're also going to want to put the cart into tow mode to protect yourself while you're working. Now, these batteries might not look that bad to the naked eye. They've got a little dirt on them and some spillage, but they are in fact very dead. We charge them overnight, and these are 8-volt batteries, each one of them. They're 6, so 6 times 8, 48-volt cart. And when we tested these batteries, they're holding about 4 volts to 4.5 volts of charge each, when they should be holding over 8. An 8-volt battery should hold over 8 if it's healthy. So we know we need to swap these out. And if you're curious if your batteries are holding charge or not, we do have a video in the description on how to test your golf cart batteries as well. Step 2, after putting the cart into tow mode, is to take a picture. You're going to want to use maybe a cell phone or any camera to take a picture of your current layout for your battery series and all of the battery cable connections, so that when we reconnect everything, we're making sure to match up any accessories that are on any of the terminals, and we don't get lost when we hook up the new batteries. After taking your pictures, for step 3, the first connections we're going to remove are going to be the main positive, which runs away from the series towards the rear of your cart, and the main negative. So these are the only 2 cables that are running out off the series, going to your controller and to your main negative terminal. When we disconnect those, we're effectively breaking the series and breaking the circuit, so that we can then take off all the rest of the battery cables. So we're going ahead and we're disconnecting the main positive. And you can see there's actually an accessory wire, a little red one, running off of the main positive. Just like these guys here on this terminal over here, there's some little accessory wires. A little cheat we like to do is zip tie those together, so that when we're putting everything back, we don't even have to think about it. Your picture will obviously help you, but if you zip tie this stuff, like Chris just disconnected that from the terminal, he's going to go ahead and zip tie these together, and then when we set them off to the side later on, it's really easy for us when we put a fresh new battery there to remember what goes with what. We're also going to use a thick gauge electrical tape to cover up any loose metal leads off of the cables, because this cable is still connected to your controller, which might have some juice in it. Doesn't mean it doesn't have a battery running to it, but it might have some juice in it. So we don't want it sparking. We tape it up, and then it's safe to flop around in the bay here. Now that we've got our main positive off, we're going to go ahead and get our main negative off. Next up, we're just going to work right along the series, taking off each battery cable as we go until they're all disconnected. Make sure you're saving all of your hardware, because you're going to use all of those nuts to reinstall your new batteries. All right, and just like that, all of our battery cables are disconnected. Now we're going to work on the battery hold down brackets, those black bars that you see running across each of the 3 segments of batteries. So we're going to disconnect those, and that will free the batteries so that they're loose for us to pull out. We're going to do that for the next 2, and then that will complete step number 5. With all of our brackets loose, step 6 is to pull out our bad boys and replace them with some brand new nice boys. And what we like to do to pull these out is, a lot of people recommend a battery strap, so do we. But if you don't have a battery strap at home, an old belt that you trust actually works fine. We use them all the time. Make sure you trust it, like leather or a really nice like nylon. But this works just fine, and it'll save you a trip to the store or from ordering a battery strap. These can just loop straight through the little holes on the end of each battery. And we do it just like, now that we have all of the old batteries out of here, it is literally out with the old and in with the new. Look at those, they look beautiful. We've got the new Trojans in there. Now, before you start connecting everything back up and adding your battery cables back in, it's important to take this time to clean the terminals on the end of your battery cables. You can use some 99% isopropyl alcohol to do that, just to make sure that your new if you're going to reuse your battery cables, that your new connections are nice and clean. If you have new battery cables, don't worry about that. The other thing to do is look back at your picture right now and make sure that all these batteries are oriented the same way that they were when you started with the old batteries. Because if you hook all this up and they're not in the same spot, it's going to be a sad day when you have to do it all over again. Before we get to connecting those battery cables back up, we have to secure the batteries in place. So we've now got our battery hold down brackets in place. Chris is securing the last one there. And speaking of verifying your pictures, this is why it's important to look back. This battery, and that battery before we checked were all facing the wrong way with the terminals on the inside. We flipped them, we looked back at our picture from before, and now all these batteries are in the right spot. We've cleaned the battery cables like we talked about. We use 99% isopropyl alcohol. We do have a video down in the description on how to clean your golf cart batteries. Be sure to watch that, especially if you're spending all this money on new batteries. And now we're gonna go ahead and hook up all our connections and show you that everything works. Well, a pro tip that we're going to do, and we recommend you do, is this is dielectric grease. It will extend the life of your batteries. You just spent a lot of money on your new batteries. Get some dielectric grease. You can get it at your hardware store or on Amazon. And then you're gonna put a little bit on the terminal posts as you're rehooking your battery connections. A little bit goes a long way here. This is not 100% necessary. It's just a really nice thing to do for your fresh batteries. And you're just gonna go around and do that on every single terminal. Now we are going to reconnect all of our battery cables. We're gonna start in reverse order. The big thing is you don't wanna start with the main positive and the main negative. You wanna start with all the connections between. And then of course, when you get to your zip ties, this is why we did this earlier in the video, we are going to make sure that we put those back on the exact same terminal with all of their accessory cables so that all of our lights and everything else and horn and turn signals work. Now that all of our batteries are connected together, we are ready to connect the main negative and then the main positive. Before we do that, check all the batteries in your series and make sure that you are indeed flowing positive to negative throughout the series. Or look back at your picture. Just make sure you're hooked up the right way so that you don't fry anything, okay? That's one of the most important parts. So Chris has already gone ahead and hooked up our main negative. He's now connecting the main positive. The system is live when he does that. So obviously keep your gloves on and some eye protection. All right, and that completes all of our connections. Everything is hooked up as it looked like in the picture before, except our batteries look much more amazing. So we're ready to throw the cart into run. And we can turn our ignition on. And now we can start checking accessories. Headlights, boom. And let's check, the horn is down here on this cart. Yep, seems like everything is working as it should. And that is how you change the batteries in your golf cart. If this video was helpful for you, please give us a like. It helps our channel out. And be sure to subscribe. We have a lot more content coming for you. Thank you so much for stopping by. And please visit golfcarttiresupply.com. But I don't talk about the lithium. What if they're like, well, what about lithium?